Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talking Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. If you're a Habs fan like I am, subscribe, ring that bell, leave a comment, and a thumbs up if you like the video. So hey there everybody, so we got a bunch of news today. Marc Bergevin had a press conference. So did Trevor Timmins. I didn't really cover that. So I got stuff from that, and there's some just general news around the NHL, trades, signings, and stuff like that. It's going to be a really busy next couple of days because we have all of these. The freeze for the trades in the NHL that ended at 1 o'clock this afternoon my time. That's just over 3 hours ago, and so trades can happen. The draft, the entry draft, is tomorrow, and we have the free agent period opening. Let's see, we're today, the 22nd, so in 6 days. So it's going to be a very busy period of signings and trades and just things like that. So I'm going to go over what I have here, and we'll talk about it. So let's get right into it. Just to start, there's a couple of signings, and one of them was definitely known because Barclay Goodrow. It was known that the Rangers were going to sign him to a contract. I think they just needed to wait till the freeze was over, which happened today, and they signed him to a 6-year deal with a $3.6 million annual average value. So I don't know, kind of think for me that's a little bit of a overpayment definitely in term. I don't know that I would have signed Goodrow to 6 years, but they signed him to 6 years, $3.6 million against the cap. And it's a good signing for the Rangers. He is a cup winner twice, and a very important part on that. I don't know if he was third or fourth line, but really good third or fourth liner. So he'll definitely help the Rangers. Also, we have Taylor Hall signing. About to sign. I don't think it's official yet, but it'll happen. A 4-year extension at $24 million. So that's a $6 million annual average value. So $6 million a year against the cap for Taylor Hall. And he's staying in Boston for another 4 years. I'm glad Boston signed him and Montreal didn't. I'm not a big Taylor Hall fan. He did do well when he went to Boston at the end of last season at the deadline. And I think Boston might be a good fit for him. So I'm not saying that he's not a good player, but, for me, he's a little overrated. But listen, he's a good fit in Boston. Let's see how he does there. Hope he does better than he did in Buffalo. I hope, for Boston's sake, he does as well as he did when he first came there. And he did okay in the playoffs. They didn't last that long, but his numbers were good. So Taylor Hall will remain a Boston Bruin. What else we got? We have the Flyers sending Shane Gostisbehere. If you watch my videos for a long time, I talked about Shane Gostisbehere for beginning of 2 seasons in a row, or at the deadline one season, beginning of the next. And I thought that Shane Gostisbehere would be a good puck-moving defenseman to come here. His contract was pretty decent. And, his value's gone down over the last couple of seasons because his play hasn't been great. So it's not, I don't know, does that make it a surprise or not? And what happened? Because I don't know if I have, okay, so this was, I get this from John at Hot Take. Breaking news, Coyotes on verge of acquiring Flyers defenseman Shane Gostisbehere, who's 28, an offensive defenseman with 2 years left on a 6-year, $27 million contract that he signed in 2017 with the Flyers. The surprise is what they got for him, because the Flyers actually got literally, and when you say literally, it doesn't mean like they got not very good players. They literally got nothing back. So they sent Gostisbehere and 2 draft picks. I don't know which ones they were. To the Coyotes, that's who, for nothing. So it's kind of like that deal that happened earlier. I don't remember. I don't know if it was to the Coyotes, but yeah, it's the second time that's happened. Maybe it was Tampa sent somebody and got nothing back. I don't think I've ever seen it before. Now it's happened twice. Let's see. Oh, I know Tyler Pitlick. So the Seattle Kraken made their first trade. They traded Tyler Pitlick to Calgary Flames, and they got, I believe, a 4th-round draft pick in 2022 in return. I know I wrote it down here, but of course I'm not going to find it. So Pitlick is he's a useful player, hard worker, penalty killer. Not much on the offensive side, so I don't know that he's a top 6 player, but he's a good player for your bottom 6, maybe 4th liner. So that's Kraken's first ever trade. Now, let's go to the Canadiens. No, I got one more trade to announce that really is kind of confusing in this way. Carolina Hurricanes protected goaltender Ned, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, to be honest with you. Promising young goalie. Thought it was a good move to protect him, and they just moved him. And I don't really get it. They moved him to, I don't even know to Detroit. So they sent him to Detroit. I think they got a 3rd or 4th rounder, and they got Jonathan Bernier back. I don't understand this trade. This is your goalie of the future, and you protected him, and then you just traded him away for very underwhelming return, if you ask me. I'm not that Jonathan Bernier is not a good goalie, but I believe he's unsigned, and I don't know. I'm just surprised because Nedjevic, whatever his name is like a really promising young goaltender. And then Detroit signs him for 2 years, $6 million. So that's $3 million AAV, which is nothing. And you got to think Carolina could have afforded that. Apparently, it was something to do with potential arbitration award. And they weren't going to qualify him because of that, so they moved him. I just don't get it. For apparently they offered him $1.5 million, so $3 million over 2 years, and I don't know. It's just very confusing. In my mind, it's not to put Bernier down at all, but I think they got worse. Carolina. I don't think that's a good move by Carolina. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Here's something funny. Kyle Dubas. So. Let's see if I can find it. I think this is the Kyle Dubas quote here. Nope, it's not. I have a quote from Dubas. It's not, and I'm not going to be able to find it. How do you like that? I wish I could pause this. So it basically says, and I'm sure I uploaded it. I guess I forgot to upload it. He's comfortable going into next season basically with the same team. He believes in them, and he believes in the players, and believes in them personally as people, and he believes that they can win, and he believes that they're going to do that next season. He knows the cost that he might have to pay if he's wrong, and all along there. But basically he's saying, I don't think you're going to see much different team in Toronto, and to me that's a bit of a surprise. I think that if they want to, I'm happy about it personally. I don't want to see Toronto succeed, but I feel for the fans if they get basically the same product next season. I don't see that team maturing into a team that all of a sudden has the killer attitude to win and know how to close out a series. And I just don't see that changing without some change there. But hey, if he's comfortable with that, his job's on the line. So Kyle Dubas, basically, I put the quote, I believe. He believes in his team and his players, and as hockey players and as people and his coaching staff and all that. So, okay, good for him. I hope, I wish him success, I guess. We're just going to do all the little news before we get into anything big. So this was rumored. Montreal was rumored to be interested in acquiring Yanni Gourde from Seattle after they picked him from Tampa Bay. But apparently Gourde is going to undergo shoulder surgery next week and will undergo a 4-month rehab. So that kind of takes him out till Probably sometime in December, if everything goes good, December or January of the next season. So obviously Montreal's not going to be interested in him, and it's kind of like, wow, if the Kraken were planning on either moving him for other assets, no, not going to be able to. So I wonder if that was something that they made a mistake on, or they knew this and they just wanted the player and they're willing to wait for him. I mean, that's a possibility. Let's see now. Kelly Buchberger, who was I remember him from the Edmonton Oilers a long time. He is now going to be the assistant coach for the Laval Rocket. They signed him to a 3-year deal. I don't know the money, but they signed him to a 3-year deal to be the assistant coach to, I'm not sure, is it Jean-Francois Houle? That's Ray-Jean Houle's son, which a lot of people are not happy with, because he's Ray-Jean Houle's son. I say this, listen, I'm not a biggest Ray-Jean Houle fan. I got nothing against this kid. Apparently he's a really good teacher, hockey, for the young kids. I heard Bergevin talking about him, and sounds to me like the kind of guy you want to have in there. As long as he develops players. I don't really care who his father was, because I don't think, if I don't like Ray-Jean Houle, I don't see why that has to be a reflection on his son, because that's really being unfair to the kid. And so all the best to that coaching staff. Jean-Francois Houle and Kelly Buchberger are going to be the coach and assistant coach. I don't know who else might be an assistant there. With the Laval Rocket, after Bouchard, Joel Bouchard left for the Anaheim Ducks to coach their AHL team. So I believe this is good news. I mean, Kelly Buchberger was a good bottom 9 guy. I don't know, bottom 6 guy. So I think it'll be good. He's been coaching for a while. Let's see what's up next. So this is a quote from Ron Francis about why they didn't take Carey Price. We talked about him, just decided to go in a different direction. He was tempting. So they considered Carey Price, and the news has come out from the Habs that his injuries aren't that bad. So let me see if I can find the right quote. Here, I think. So Marc Bergevin and Carey Price, nothing alarming at the moment. He played all the minutes in the playoffs and played very well. He had some bumps over the 2 months, but he's seeing doctors. We're not expecting anything major, but we'll see once they look closely, perhaps 6 to 8 weeks. So that's what they're saying. They're saying Price is nothing serious. Like people were saying that they were kind of making playing it up a little bit to scare off the Kraken from picking him, and so it was nothing serious. But he'll miss 6 to 8 weeks, which is long. So Montreal will need a plan. I don't want to say to back up Allen, because I don't believe Allen should be the starter where he gets 60% of the starts. I don't think that works for Allen. I think Allen is better off either just completely splitting the starts or playing just a little less than the starter. I don't like not being the guy. I don't think that is the best thing for him. So hopefully they manage. I mean, 6 to 8 weeks is long. If he's filling in for a couple of weeks, yeah, sure. He showed in the last season that he can do that. But then the play starts to fall off after a little while, right? He's good 2-3 weeks. I don't think I want to see him being the main starter for 6 to 8 weeks. I don't know that that'll be great. So let's see what Montreal does as far as acquiring another goalie. There's lots of them out there, and he should be able to pick somebody up. I don't know if they'll be able to, how they'll be able to work out the money. We'll get to how they're going to get some relief on money. It's not going to be what everybody thought, and you probably all heard it by now, but I'm going to update you on this. So Carey Price, not hurt as bad. He's got a hip problem and a knee that might require surgery. Tomorrow, he has a doctor's appointment, either today or tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's Thursday or Friday, and with a doctor in New York, and he's going to get a second opinion, and we're going to find out timeline basically then. Let's see what else we got. So Marc Bergevin says Phil Danault is still in the Habs' plans. If we lose Phil Danault, Kotkaniemi, that's KK, taking the next step can help. And Jake Evans played some big hockey for us. If there's a chance to get a player we like that gets us to the salary cap, we'll do that. So that's talking about possibly getting a, like a scoring, somebody score a star center, whatever, a scoring winger. He's talking about getting some elite kind of talent if they have that kind of an offer, but it really stretches their cap. They're willing to do like they did last season where they went really close. They had to struggle a little bit, but they managed, he said, so they'll be fine. So that's what he's talking about there. These are just some quotes from his press conference. And Bergevin also confirmed that Corey Perry is a UFA player the Canadiens would like to have back next season. I heard that the Habs were offering him a 1-year deal, and he would like to have a 2-year deal. I imagine they'll work this out. I think they want Perry. Perry wants to play here, and I think that just makes that a deal will work out. He's not going to be expensive. Probably have to up his salary to $1 million. But listen, Corey Perry, you sign him to 2 years, $2 million. There's no risk to that. The money is so little, there's no risk to that. What did I have in this one? We went through that one. So the big news, as you saw from my thumbnail, because if I had anything else, some of this we'll talk about. Oh, on the Danault front, I forgot to add this. Bergevin also said about Danault, as long as he hasn't signed a deal elsewhere or with Montreal. So basically, the longer it takes for him to sign a deal, there's hope that he'll be back to Montreal. So he figures the longer it takes for him to find a team that's willing to pay what he wants, the more chance it is that he'll come back to Montreal and work out a deal with Montreal. Will it be the same deal Montreal offered him that he turned down? I don't know. I would actually like to see the money be lower and maybe a little less term. And so we'll see if him turning it down and having to come back, if that happens, makes any difference in the offer. Yeah, okay, that's the star player stuff. All right, so I think the big announcement is this. I'm going to go through it's a bit long. I'm going to read it to you guys. We'll see if it answers any questions. And it's kind of about Shea Weber. So on Shea Weber, he was asked about Shea Weber and all this stuff. Some of this, I think, is translated from a French question, and he answered in French because I watched the press conference. So he said he's not counting on Shea Weber being in the lineup for the Canadiens next season. He also confirmed that Weber's injuries could be career-ending. Shea Weber has several injuries. That's ankle, foot, knee, and thumb. Even missing a practice for him wasn't an option. I don't know what that means. I think it means even practicing wasn't really an option for him, if you ask me. I think that's what he means. It was mistranslated. He has a lot of mileage. He won't be back next season and probably won't be back for his career. Said he was amazed how many minutes Shea Weber logged in the playoffs, but no one was aware of the severity of Weber's injuries during the run. And on that, I have something just to add, and we'll get back to that. Just give me a sec. He said himself, Marc Bergevin, and the guys, Weber's teammates, weren't really aware that Weber might have played his last game. When they all hugged him at the end of Game 5, if you see, there's a video out about it. I mean, you saw it at the end of the game. They all went over to Weber and gave him a hug, kind of consoling him. But we didn't know for sure that's what it was, but it kind of did look like that. And now that you know that, you can see it's kind of like, man, we didn't get there. You're not going to be back. Like they knew. It kind of looks like it to me, but he says none of them really did know for sure. They knew that he was in a lot of pain to play. And they knew all that. They knew he had injuries. And they knew he was just manning up and leaving it all out on the ice. But they didn't know that this might have been his last game. I kind of think Ben Sherratt did. He really gave him a big hug. And you can see, I don't know, from watching the highlight video, I kind of think they knew, but Bergevin says not. Let's see, what's the next one? Let's get back to what was on there. Said Weber is a man of few words and not one to complain about the pain he endures, so Bergevin was surprised when he found out the extent of the captain's injuries. It'll be impossible to replace Shea Weber. Bergevin said that it will be absolutely impossible. He doesn't believe they'll ever be able to replace Shea Weber. I mean, it's an exaggeration, yes, but what he means is there's no way to see that there's a replacement out there. They may find one. I think they may, but he's unique and he brought something that they needed here, and it's not easy to find that kind of a captain. Yeah, they'll find a good captain. I kind of think it'll be Gallagher. I think Gallagher will be a great captain, but of course he's going to be a little different. It's going to be different. They're all different, and that's, I think, what he means. So Shea Weber, I don't know how they replace him that way either, but as far as on the ice, yeah, I mean, they can replace Shea Weber on the ice, and they'll have to because he's not coming back. Let's see the next one on Price. So we'll go back a little bit to Carey Price. His injury is nothing serious. Could be something that keeps him out 6 to 8 weeks, but also adds that it's possible he's out longer based on what the doctors find. Small percentage, it could be longer. So if the doctors find something, that's why they're going for the second doctor. It could be worse. We're going to find out. I imagine by Monday or something. On exposing Price during the expansion draft, we made a bet, but we were pretty comfortable he'd remain in Montreal. Bergevin said the organization had a plan B should the Kraken have selected Carey Price in the expansion draft, but they were confident Price would remain with the Canadiens. Bergevin says he met with Jonathan Drouin, so we're moving on to Jonathan Drouin earlier this week and expects Joe to be in Montreal for the first day of training camp in September. So that's kind of interesting news right there. We met with Joe, and Joe feels great. He's focused, and he's ready to go. I think when Dom took over, we saw the best hockey Joe ever played in Montreal uniform. After that, we all saw his game drop. Knowing now why, and they haven't said why. That's something we don't know. I mean, I don't imagine that we will. It's something personal, and it's not really our business to know why, but they do, and apparently that's been taken care of. We're pretty excited to see Joe coming back. And, I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of getting tired of Drouin just like letting us down. But whatever the problems were and all that, I understand why Montreal's excited to have him back. First of all, he's a teammate. He's a brother with all the guys there. I mean, that I know. But really, without Drouin, there's a hole on left wing. So he fills a hole. He is a good player. The thing is, you don't count on him as the guy. If you count on him as the guy, it's not great. So Drouin will be back. So we won't get any cap relief and get all that money. That's something. Carey Price, we may not get any cap relief. So the only cap relief that might come from all these things that we were thinking were going to happen is Weber's $7.857 million. And yeah, so this is what the news is, kind of, right? Did I finish that? Yeah, so we're finished with that. This is something from John Liu. So Bergevin added that Weber's playing career might be over, as multiple reports indicate is dealing with knee, ankle, and thumb injuries. He's 35. He spent the last 5 years in Montreal, being acquired from Nashville Predators. Of course, everyone knows, for PK Subban. So he had 6 goals and 13 assists in 48 games last season. Added 1 goal, 6 assists in 22 playoff games. Going to the finals. Over 1,038 career games with Nashville and Montreal. He has tallied 224 goals, 365 assists for 589 points, which is quite amazing. And Shea Weber was just amazing. And it's hard to get the head around that. We have to say that he was a great hockey player, because it doesn't look like he's coming back. He's having operations to improve the quality of his life. When you hear that kind of stuff, I don't see how the player comes back from that. So just a big thanks to Shea Weber for those 5 years. Great leadership, a great captain, gave his all, proved that in the Stanley Cup finals, especially, where you could not tell that this guy was injured, and he's got possible career-ending injuries. So, yeah, just hats off to Shea Weber. That's all you can say, right? Hats off to the guy. So hopefully we can find somebody that can even come close to replacing him, but definitely they're looking for somebody on the back end to replace him on the ice. And I imagine it's going to be Gallagher replacing him as captain. And I think that brings us to the end. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Leave a comment about anything here. Let me know what you guys think about all this. And if you're new to the channel and you're a Habs fan like I am, please subscribe, ring that bell, and that'll get you your daily fix of Blue Blanc Rouge right here at Talkin' Habs. Like I said, thanks for watching, everybody. Really do appreciate it. Stay safe out there. Peace out, y'all, and I'll see you for the next Talkin' Habs news, when I wouldn't imagine it'd be too long. There's going to be a lot of stuff happening. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being here.